Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Adrian. I'm the CEO and founder of Groundhogg. And this is part 5 of 6 of our Black Friday ramp up series. This is the final week before Black Friday. Next week is every man for themselves or every business for themselves in terms of promoting their deals and getting consumers to purchase products at fabulous discounts. And I am going to be sharing with you a topic today that should allow you to generate even more income from people who are already on your list and not necessarily people that you're trying to get or build new customers. And we're going to talk about that in great detail. But before that, obviously a few announcements. Number one, the session is being recorded. Anything that I'm saying here will be put up on YouTube and Groundhogg Academy as well. You can currently go watch all of the previous parts of this Black Friday ramp up series on YouTube, and I highly recommend you do. There's some great content there in terms of allowing you to set up the systems and processes that your business needs to have a stellar Black Friday. If you have a question during the stream at any point, I implore you to go to the live comment section. That is where you are going to be able to ask any questions that you have or provide any feedback about anything that I'm sharing on the stream, and just generally participate. If you're currently on the stream with me, why don't you go ahead into the live comment section now and just say hello and let us know where you're calling in from today, and we'll give you a shout out. Black Friday is finally here for Groundhogg, and that means that the deal is currently available. I've been getting an inordinate amount of Facebook messages about, what's the deal going to be and when is it going to be here, and all of these different things. And currently, you can now go get this deal. Just go pick any plan, or if you are already an existing customer, you can upgrade to a better plan. If you do not have our agency license yet, you can upgrade to a better plan, at the Pro plan if you're on Basic or Plus or anything like that. And get 25% off. So you can get 25% off your upgrade, or if you're currently just a free user using our platform, you can get 25% off your first plan. It's exciting stuff there. So use the code BFCM2020 at checkout to claim that deal. And on top of that, our 3-year deal is back and has been back for the entirety of November. The 3-year deal is an opportunity for you to get 25%, to get an entire year free if you pay for 2 years upfront. So you get a 3-year license for the cost of only 2, and you can couple that with the 25% off discount, which has now been made available. So you can go stack those on top of each other. And I think at the end of the day, with those combined deals, you actually can get up to 50% off the cost of 3 years of Groundhogg, which I personally think is nothing short of incredible value. I was feeling particularly generous, so I made these two deals work together, and that's going to be available till the end of November. So go ahead and you can go pick up yourself a 3-year deal with the 25% off, and I think that's good. That's some pretty great value there. Okay, moving on. We also have our affiliate incentives still in action. We have our 20% commission for all affiliates, which was raised from the base of 10%. So if you do not have an affiliate account, you can go register one for free. And if you want to share any of the incredible offers that we're offering for the entire month of November, or at least the remainder of November, we'll give you 20% off or give you 20% of every transaction. Certified partners who are on this call, your commission rates were also increased to a base of 30%. So you can go and use your links to share Groundhogg's fabulous deals for the rest of November. Potential earnings are going to look like this. I've covered this. I've pretty much beaten this horse so much already, so I'm going to move on. But those are some potential earnings that you could get by sharing Groundhogg's November deals. If you want to be an affiliate, you can go to groundhogg.gg/affiliates to register a free affiliate account. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff, the actual Black Friday content and how you can make more revenue and generate more sales over the Black Friday period. So this is part 5 of 6 of our 6-part series. The last part occurring on November 24th, which is next week, I think. Yes, which is next week. And that's going to be selling to existing customers, which is today. And then next week is our kind of like entirety review. We're going to be covering or recovering everything that we've covered up until this point, so that when Black Friday occurs on the 27th, you are prepared. So today's topic: how do we sell more to our existing customers, people who've already given us money? How do we incentivize them to give us more money? Because it's actually easier to sell to people who've already given you money than it is to go out and find new customers. Many of you have probably seen this or this phrase before. If you've ever been to any sort of professional business development training, there are 3 ways to make more money in a business. The first option is to charge more for your products. So if you have a steady stream of new customers, and you don't want to sell more to your existing customers, then you can charge more, and that's one way to increase revenue. The kind of most simplest way for creating or generating more revenue is to find more customers. And then there is sell more product to existing customers. So these are people who have already purchased from you at whatever price point. If we sell more to these people who have a proven track record of providing us revenue, then how do we leverage that and turn each of our subscribers into more revenue, increasing the lifetime value of everyone on our list? So there are essentially kind of like 2 kinds of product categories that we have to consider when we're talking about selling more product to existing customers, because it's, that's an easier said than done phrase. There are 2 categories that I'm going to focus on. I'm sure there are more categories, but the one that most of people on this call and in our Facebook group would relate to are consumable and service-based products. So this covers product to consumer products where you're just maybe like selling clothes or one-off items, and also service-based businesses where you are providing some sort of service like a digital marketing agency or you're a lawn care company. Service-based businesses and consumable-based purchases, we're going to bundle those in because essentially at the end of the day, a client pays for a service or a product, and then they consume that product one time, and then they have to repurchase it to get the same product or service. So we're going to lump those 2 together, and I'm going to fast forward a little bit to this slide. The second product and or service type is subscription and membership type products and services. And this categorizes when someone will pay you for access to a large variety of services and products that are reconsumable, and they get access to those products and services for the remainder of their membership and or subscription term. An example of that would be a software company like Groundhogg, where you pay a yearly license fee for access to support and access to the software. If you have a Spotify membership, you get access to all of the music if you pay the $9 per month fee, or Netflix, $14 Canadian per month for access to unlimited watching of TV shows and movies. Those are subscription and membership type products where people will pay a recurring fee for continued access to a list of services and products, versus the consumable/service products that cover one-time use services and products. Okay, with that distinction in mind, based on the kind of business that you are, there are different ways that you can approach getting your current list to pay more. So let's talk about the first consumable/product service method for generating more revenue from your existing customers. So the easiest method, or the easiest campaign or broadcast or email or deal that we can offer our existing customers is to rebuy a product that they've already purchased and already consumed and had a good experience with at a discount. And a great example of this might be, let's say, dog food. I once did in the agency a campaign, or our entire agency, not just me personally, did a campaign with a dog food provider, a local dog food provider here in Ontario, Canada, and we just knocked it out of the park for them. And that's because we emailed their existing list who had bought dog food from them before, and we essentially offered them a great deal. We're like, here's 10% off your next order of dog food, and we're also going to throw in a free dog bowl, and we generated over $180,000 of sales of dog food in a weekend, which I think was pretty cool. So Rebuy at a discount with a deal is probably like the number one go-to for consumable service-based products. So the steps in order to recreate this, or in order to like actually get that revenue generation going, number one, we want to obviously segment our list of the people who have already purchased the product that we want to market. Again, let's take dog food as an example. We want to segment all the people on our list who've bought dog food from us before, and then we're going to send them this email with some kind of Black Friday special offer. You've bought this before, you've had a great experience, here's an offer to buy the same thing for less for Black Friday. You're welcome. And it's also a great idea to put in a deal or a bonus in order to further incentivize. So if you have some sort of cheaper, less expensive, also consumable service, you can tack that in or throw that on and just either ship it to them or provide it to them at essentially what should be no additional cost to you, but just kind of sweetens the pot a little bit to get them to interact or essentially just incentivize them to take the deal. So hopefully that makes sense. Rebuy at a discount is probably the most like plain dead simple for consumer services. I have a question from Michael, and Michael is asking, do the integration modules also have a Black Friday offering? So if you're talking about just our base extensions, those are not currently on offer for Black Friday. So our Groundhogg's current Black Friday offer is on all the plans and the 3-year deals, as well as upgrades. So if you want to upgrade an existing plan that you have to a better plan, you can get 25% off the upgrade. If you want to extend your license, you can get 25% off that. If you want to purchase a new pro plan that has all of the integrations and extensions in it, you can get that at 25% off, and you can also use the 25% off on our 3-year deal, which is already 33% off the cost of a 3-year license. So those are our current offerings. We are not currently putting the extensions on offer by themselves. Hopefully that answers your question, Michael. Okay, so that is Rebuy at a discount. The logical extension or the logical next step of this campaign is a cross-sell and upsell similar products. So step one, you segment all of the customers who've bought a product similar to the one that you want to put on offer. You will send a broadcast to all of those contacts that essentially says, hey, we noticed that you purchased this product in the past and you had a great experience with it. We have this very similar product, or at least maybe the next step up of this product, and we think it would pair brilliantly with the previous product that you purchased. So for those of you who want to take this deal and get all of these benefits of having these two products together, you can get whatever deal, 15, 25, 30% off until November 30th. And you can also throw in a bonus in there, same as the Rebuy one, throw a bonus in there just to incentivize the deal further. And then in your email, of course, link to actually claim the deal. Now, for service businesses, I often hear this a lot. You know, I talk to a lot of agencies, I talk to a lot of service-based businesses, and I asked them, are you running Black Friday deals? And a lot of people said no, and the reason being says we're too busy, or our calendars are booked solid and we don't really need more business. And to that I say, there's always a way to get, there's always a reason to have more business, and there's always a way to get people to pay even if you're booked solid. So number one, for those of you who think that you can't take on more business because you're already booked solid, consider this. Number one, segment customers for a service or product that you're currently offering that is very popular, but you're booked. I want you to send a broadcast to those people, and I want you to ask them if they're willing to pay you at a discounted rate to book well in advance of the actual time where you're going to be able to implement that product or service. Let's take a hairdresser or a barbershop who might be booked solid for a month because they're a very, very, very popular barbershop. I've never seen that, but it could happen. And we want to offer a Black Friday package, let's say 4 haircuts, over the course of 6 months for a set price, but you don't actually have that availability right now. What you can do is you can pre-sell those slots that are going to be happening later at a discount today and you don't actually have to deliver on that promise till much, much later. So if you maybe have a slow month, consider like financing your future efforts. That is one way to consider it. So an email that looks something like this: if you enjoyed your product or the service that we worked with you recently, we're currently booked solid well into next year, but if you want to work with us again, you can prepay us for this service, time slot, whatever, with our current Black Friday special discount. You have until November 30th to make a decision. Book now. So for anyone who's saying that I can't run a Black Friday deal because I'm booked solid and I don't need any more business, here is something to consider in order to generate extra revenue without actually having to set aside time to generate that revenue, because you're essentially just pre-selling something for well next year. You obviously have to deliver on that eventually, but it's not something they have to deliver on immediately. So that's a unique solution, I think, to that resistance that I've been hearing from some service-based businesses. And the natural progression of that for like stocked-based products, so not necessarily service, but stocked-based products like dog food, for example. Obviously, if you run out of something, continue to sell it. Just make sure that people know that you're pre-selling it. So if you're out of an item, but it's really popular and you want to sell it on Black Friday because, well, it's really popular, then if you know you're going to get that item back in stock, just pre-sell it. But again, at the Black Friday discount, just make it clear, like, you are pre-buying this item. We will deliver it to you when we actually get it back in stock. But because it's out of stock, here's maybe like an additional incentive on top of the Black Friday incentive. There's a lot of flexibility there and a lot of opportunity to create some fantastic opportunities for your existing list to invest and reinvest in your business. There, people leave money out on the table because they're not accessing the power that is within their own list. I think probably like 30% of sales this month in Groundhogg have been from existing customers spending more money because we've been reaching out to you to spend more money. And it's always easier to get people who've already given you money to give you more. And people just kind of overlook that because we often default to the second way of making more money, which is more customers, which is valid and has value in its own right, but we often neglect that third way, and I think it's important. All right, let's move on to the second type of products that we have, and that is the subscription membership-based products. Again, a refresher: subscription membership products are when a consumer will pay a specific term, a month or a year or 3 years upfront for access to a variety of products and services for that period of time. Okay, so it's like a recurring subscription. Netflix, Groundhogg, Spotify, what other subscription-based services are there? There's many, and I'm drawing a blank, but there's lots. Courses, if you sell courses, if you sell like a monthly course membership, that would qualify as a subscription/membership product. There are less ways to get more money out of our list in these cases, but still valid ones. So obviously, we have one that I highly recommend. If you are currently selling everything that you have at one price point, that has value in and of itself as a selling point, but it gives you less flexibility to generate increasing amounts of revenue from your list. So I highly recommend that most subscription and membership-based business models introduce some form of good, better, best in their pricing plan. At Groundhogg, we have Basic Plus Pro. So if you're not currently operating that method, maybe it's time to start thinking about introducing it, because if you do, then you have this very easy method of generating more revenue. For those of people who go straight to, let's say, the good plan, or in like Groundhogg's case, the basic plan, which is your cheapest, most inexpensive plan, you can just get them to upgrade over the Black Friday period, and you can discount their upgrade price like we do at Groundhogg with the Black Friday discount. So an email that goes something like, hey, how are you enjoying your membership? If you think you're getting value from it, just wait until you experience our next level up membership. You will get all of these great benefits, and for this period of time, you can upgrade at our Black Friday discount deal, and have a link to ask them to upgrade now. Super simple, super effective And we've seen a lot of upgrades this month at Groundhogg, from our Plus and our Basic to our Pro plans, and even from our Pro to our agency plans. So there's something to be said there. If you don't have good, better, best in your business model right now, in your subscription model, I highly recommend that you maybe take a closer look at switching your pricing around to introduce this. I know that in Groundhogg, we only introduced good, better, best pricing probably a year into production, and a year into actually providing service, because we switched from our all access pass model to our good, better, best, and I would never go back. The results have just been so much better, and it's created a much more sustainable company. Steps to do this: segment your customers who are on your lesser membership levels, and you can do that with tags. Then you will obviously draft an email that looks something similar to this, and you're going to ship that off as a broadcast to them. And you can also do the add an inexpensive consumable product or service to the deal package in order to incentivize them to actually continue through to the checkout process. Option number 2, and this is one that I have been having so much fun with. And I really think that one of this is like a gold mine for course creators, for membership sites, for software. I honestly think that this is one of the greatest methods for generating more revenue for subscription and membership-based business. Membership term extensions. This is essentially getting people who are currently paying you to pay in advance at a deal for future service. Our 3-year deal is an example of this. And here's the reason why it works so well. Churn is a thing. Churn is a reality. What is churn? Churn is when you have someone who's paying you monthly or yearly for a subscription, and their card declines, or their card is lost, or they cancel or whatever. A lot of the times the business owner can't control that, and we have all of these dunning systems in place. Dunning is like sending an email to this person saying, hey, listen, your card canceled, which means you're going to lose your access, rebuy. And a lot of the times consumers, especially like consumers and not business people, will just say, you know what, I'm so busy, I'm just going to let it go. I'm not even going to bother renewing it. I know the card declined and I know I got value, but I'm just not going to bother. And that sucks, because we know that person was benefiting, but people are busy and they forget, and that's just lost. That's just business walking out the door. We can mitigate the amount of churn that we have by getting people to pay in advance. And if you get people to pay in advance at a discount, like we're doing with our 3-year deal, all the better, because now you are essentially guaranteed subscription revenue for like 2, 3, 4 years, and you don't have to keep sending out emails to people whose credit cards expire over and over and over again. And I really think that this is just a super easy way to get people who are currently on your list, who are currently subscribed, to give you more money without having to do really any extra work or create any new products or provide any additional service. You just say, hey, listen, you can extend your membership for X period of time at this massive discount. You're going to be paying for it anyway, so why pay more than you have to? Guarantee your membership for the next 3 years at this rate. And also works well because Groundhogg, we've been known to increase our prices incrementally over time, and this also provides people the opportunity to lock in at that discount and at that price. So if you decide to increase your prices, you can just grandfather all of those people, and they're going to be able to keep their price, and that's a great selling point as well. Membership term extensions, for those of you in the course industry, for those of you in the membership or the retainer industry, or for those of you in the software industry, I would highly consider getting your butt in gear and creating some products that are membership term extensions, and just shooting an email out to your list and be like, hey, you can buy this. And that would be my recommendation. It's been a game changer here at Groundhogg, because for like our 3-year pro license, that is $960. That's $1,000 in a single sale. That pays somebody's salary pretty much. So that's pretty cool. I think that's great. That covers it for the Black Friday stuff. That covers it for my recommendations for creating more revenue from your existing customers. I see we have 6 people here currently live on the call. And if any of those 6 people would love to ask a question, I'm going to open the floor to questions about our Black Friday stuff and just general Q&A. And I have a couple questions here. I have one from Colin. And Colin is asking, does Groundhogg integrate or play nice with WooCommerce memberships and WooCommerce subscriptions? For Colin, I would recommend that you actually check out another Colin, and that's Colin Longworth. Colin Longworth runs a company called WooNinja, and they make integrations, third-party integrations for Groundhogg. One of those is WooCommerce memberships and subscriptions, which is here. So Colin, I highly recommend you check out this. He has some of the most valuable pricing in the WordPress community, I think. Way too cheap, but you can go pick it up at a great price. And he might also be running a Groundhogg or a Black Friday deal rather. He's got a messenger there, so you can ask him for it. So go ahead and check out WooNinja and their WooCommerce subscriptions extension. The general WooCommerce integration will cover the first purchase of a subscription because it's still a product at the end of the day. So if you're not worried about like some of the finer subscription granularity, then the basic Groundhogg WooCommerce integration will work just fine. Michael is also asking about an integration with Wishlist Member. And Michael, I'm actually in talks with Wishlist Member right now, seeing if there's an integration that can be pushed forward. The current thing is that we're not building integrations or other extensions right now because our team is solely focused on the production of Groundhogg 3.0. And we do have on the docket integrations for all of the major WordPress membership providers, those integrations being built in the second quarter of 2021. So it is on the way. It's not currently available. That is, unless we can work out something with Wishlist Member where they provide the integration on their end, but that is currently like TBA. So hopefully that answers your question, Michael. Okay. I also have another question, another one from Colin. Colin is asking, I'm curious about the company management feature. We need the ability to organize our customers into companies with the owner or team leader and then multiple coaches or team members under them. Is that possible? So currently, the company's extension management just involves assigning contacts to customer. Just assigning contacts to like company containers. And then you can provide a sales role, a team role to each contact, so you can see that in sort of the list of the contacts, but there's no really like team leader or coaches aspect. It doesn't have that level of granularity. Currently, it's just organizing contacts who have or belong to the same company into those screens so you can have a look at those, and you can assign notes or upload files to those company records as well. Hopefully that answers your question. It might not be quite the level of granularity that you're looking for, but I'm also happy to entertain any feature requests that you might have in order to add that level of granularity. So we have a feature request form where you can go ahead and submit a feature request for any additions to the company's extension that you might like to see. Collins is asking, can the linking of contacts to a company be automatic? And absolutely yes. So if someone submits a form with the company name, that will automatically add them to the company with a similar name. So yes, that is automatic. It does not. It can also be done manually, but it's not necessarily a manual process, Colin. Okay, we're just past the half hour here, so I think we're gonna start wrapping it up. So I hope everyone had a wonderful, or at least learned something during this session of office hours. Very passionate about our topic today and all the things about how we generate more revenue from our existing customers. I think too many businesses leave that money on the table simply because they think that they've already spent money with us, they won't spend more. Well, in most cases, that's just simply not true. Most people and most members of businesses, customers of businesses, would be more than happy to continue to do business with people that they trust and people that they've had good experiences with. So don't sell yourself short. Go and approach your existing customers and see how much more they're willing to spend with you over the Black Friday period. If you did not get your question answered during office hours, you have additional ways to get answers or look for solutions. We have our academy.groundhogg.io site where we have lots of free courses as well as previous recordings of office hours sessions where you can go to learn all these great tips and tricks about implementing Groundhogg in your business, as well as all of our previous Black Friday parts, so you can get geared up and ready for Black Friday. If you are more the kind of person who likes to sit back and let someone else do the hard implementation work, we have our certified partner network who would be nothing more than happy to help you implement Groundhogg. Plus, for those of you who want to recommend Groundhogg to others, we have our affiliate area. You can sign up for a free affiliate account and you can get 20% recurring commissions. That's recurring annually commissions, as well as monthly commissions for anyone who's choosing to purchase our monthly subscriptions. Go to affiliate area /registration to sign up for your affiliate account. If you're not following us, please start. We are available on all social media channels at Groundhogg WP, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. We love to post there and keep the conversation going, especially when we're not on office hours like we are now. If you have yet to leave a review, reviews really do help our organization grow and help us produce the features that you want and love faster. Go to our WordPress.org repository page to leave a 5-star review and let others know of your experience with our software and also your support experience. If you have additional questions, and again, if you weren't able to get your question answered, you have other resources in order to get those questions answered. You can continue to comment on the live feed of this stream. We are monitoring it and we will reply to you. You can also post in the Facebook group. That's what the Facebook group is there for. You can message us on live chat. You can add us at GroundhoggWP on Twitter. You can email us. Lots of ways for you to get in touch, and we try to make ourselves as available and accessible as possible. All right, I want to thank everyone for taking the last 35 minutes of their day to spend with me. I know it's a lot to ask business owners to take time out of their day. We're all busy, especially now that Black Friday is like pretty much here. We're all scrambling to figure out what we're going to sell and who we're going to sell it to, and the ads and the copy and the images and all of this stuff. So I just want to say thank you for taking the time, and I hope that I was able to provide a quantifiable amount of value for you in exchange for that time. We will have our office hours Black Friday campaign review next week, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're gonna go back over everything that we've done so far, so you have all the tools that you're going to need to knock this Black Friday right out of the park. Thank you. My name has been Adrian, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.